It's giving me a little bit more dewiness. You see this? This is not what happens to me. Hello everyone, welcome back. Happy New Year. This is the first official video of 2022 where I sit down and do a proper talk through, wear test, makeup, and all that good jazz. So I hope everybody had a great New Year's. I hope you guys are safe, and I hope you guys are looking forward to 2022. I have a wonderful feeling about it, so let's get started. So as you guys know by the title, we are going to be reviewing the very highly anticipated Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. This was highly anticipated. I was so excited for this. I don't own any of her other foundations, but I have seen them and swatched them in store, and it's just not something that I really gravitated towards. But this is right up my alley. I'm first starting off with some background info on this product, and then we're going to go into the application, then the whole day wear test, and then basically my final thoughts. So if you guys want to skip to a particular part, I'll have the timestamps below. So let's just dive right in, shall we? So this bad boy retails for $44 USD and $55 Canadian, so quite the heavy price tag there. But it does come in 30 different shades. I picked up the shade 8 Neutral for myself. I'm very hopeful that this is going to be a good shade match for me. I also wanted to touch base a little bit about the packaging. I love this type of packaging. First of all, it's very beautiful, aesthetically pleasing to look at. It has her theme colors going on. I wouldn't expect anything less from Charlotte Tilbury, but it is a plastic bottle or, vessel. And I love the rose gold. And what I love most is that it comes with a pump. You can throw it in your bag or your travel case or your luggage, and you don't have to worry about breakage, spillage, XYZ. Some of the highlights mentioned about this product is that it's a medium coverage, long wear, natural finish. It has hyaluronic acid in it, and it's best for combo normal skin, and it's cruelty free. So those are all great claims, and those are all things that I look for in a foundation, but we'll see about that. So with that out of the way, now let's just get into the application, which I know you guys are waiting for. On the website, on the info card, Charlotte does mention that this is to be worn underneath her magic cream. I don't have her magic cream, but something very similar to that I do have is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. So I'm going to apply this only to one side of my face, and the other side I'm going to do no primer, so you guys can see how it wears and looks with both. I'll also be applying this with a sponge on this side and a foundation brush on this side. I'm gonna pump this on the back of my hand. So the foundation is quite runny. I'm gonna take this on my brush, do the brush side first, and I'm applying this on the non-primer side, okay? I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's actually matching my neck a little bit better. Just not this area here because I do have discoloration there anyways. Foundations always tend to look a little bit ashy on this side if I don't color correct. I also find that it's spreading easily on my skin, even though I didn't prime this side. Okay, I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit more so you guys can see what's going on here. I would say it's giving me a nice medium coverage, and it's not awfully glowy. It's giving me a really nice sheen. Let's do the sponge side. I'm going to pump just a little bit more. I do like how the sponge application is. It's giving me a little bit more dewiness, but that's also because the sponge is wet. And this is the side that we applied the Bobbi Brown primer. I am noticing that this foundation is drying slightly faster, so you do have to work to blend this out pretty quickly. So next I'm going to be using some powder, and I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in medium 2. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to set one side of my face entirely with powder and the other side just in the areas where I normally need it, so you guys can see both ways. And on the side that I didn't use any primer, I'm going to go in and set just underneath the eyes. And you can see that it automatically looks really flawless. This powder is bomb. Like, I use it pretty much every single day. You can tell I've practically hit pan. And I'm just going to be applying this on my smile lines as well. And I'm leaving this entire area with no powder. Also because it's looking quite dry. So same thing on the other side. I'm using the sponge to set just this portion. And we're going to go in with a different shade for the rest of the face. To set the rest of the face, I'm going in with the same powder in the shade Tan. I'm picking up this fluffy brush and I'm just going to go in circular motions very lightly and set this side. This is the primed side. So on camera, now that both sides are powdered, I don't think you guys can tell the difference between each side. However, I do see a very slight difference in the way this is wearing. I feel like the prime side is still doing a lot better because there is that emolliency and the foundation and the powder is still moving with the skin. However, on the unprimed side, I feel it's still quite dry. There's like a little bit of a dry patch here and it's accentuating that, and I'm not sure if I really like that. I'm gonna zoom you guys in even closer and you guys can really see what I mean. So you see this? I powdered here, but it's still settling into my lines. You can see the creasing. And this area right here is a huge dry patch and it's accentuating it. This is not what happens to me when I prime really well and with other foundations. This just does not happen. The foundation is kind of breaking apart and it's kind of crepey and it's clinging on to a lot of texture. It is also accentuating a lot of texture. I'm going to start the official wear test right now since the foundation and powder are on my face already. The time is now 11:34 in the morning. And I'm going to keep this roughly for about 8, 9, maybe 10 hours. I'll push it to 10 hours if I can. So my face is done. I am going to be leaving the products down in the description box if you guys are interested in knowing what I'm wearing. I didn't apply a setting spray on top. I'm just going to leave it the way it is and see how this wears for the day. I will say that the foundation is starting to look a little bit better as my oils are coming through, but like only up until here. Down here, it's still a little dry and still accentuating lines and things like that. But anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna get my day started. I'm already running late, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye.
One eternity later.
And we are back. It is the end of the day. It's been an extremely long day for me. I tried to keep this foundation on for as much as I possibly could to give it a fair review. I did end up running some errands like I mentioned. I had a mask on. I even popped into Sephora. I actually picked up the new NARS foundation, so stay tuned for that review. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you a final rundown. I didn't get a chance, honestly, to take any pictures or take any midday shots or whatever of my face. It was just a very busy go, go, go kind of a day, so I do apologize that I don't have anything to show you in between. But I'm going to move you guys closer in a bit and show you what this foundation is looking like up close. The time is now, it's 8:30, so I've had this foundation on for exactly 9 hours. And I think that's a decent wear time for most people out there. It certainly is for me. In fact, I think it's too long, and you can tell that I'm a bit of a mess right now. I'm a hot mess. I'm really tired and about to go to bed. My studio lights, by the way, are on full blast because it's no longer daytime and I don't have the big window anymore, so the lighting's going to be a little bit off. So just by how the lights are right now, you can tell on the center of my face is where the most glow is. It's not oily. It did a pretty good job of keeping my oils at bay. It's just giving me like a really nice, like dewy skin-like finish. And as you guys can see from far away, it looks pretty good. The rest of my makeup is still on, and this is with no retouching, no powder, no blotting, no adding of any products, anything like that. I just left it alone. This entire bottom half here on both sides, this was actually the prime side and this is without any primer. You can tell that this entire bottom portion here, there's absolutely no foundation left on my skin. And I can tell that this has gone in between my smile lines on both sides equally. So it's not that the primer side was better than the non-prime side. And it's still leaving me a little bit of the dry patchiness, like you see this, so you can see how it's gone into the crevices and the creasing. The skin doesn't look bad. It's just that it didn't stay for majority of the day. I know that this is at the 9-hour mark, but this is what it was starting to look like at the 4-hour mark. I really wish I had time to take pictures or some footage, but just trust me on this one. Throughout the rest of the face, even on this side here, I can tell that this foundation actually has sort of accentuated my texture, and I don't have much texture, and this is me being very picky because most foundations don't do this. Okay, most foundations that I use are really good foundations. They almost blur my skin, and the pores don't look like this. Like you can see the skin texture on my skin, and you can see that it's making my skin, especially here on this area, look a little bit dry, and that doesn't usually happen to me very often with foundations. And even here, you can tell that this is clinging onto my dry patch. Like I kind of picked at this, you could tell, but look at the skin surrounding it. It's actually gone into the crevices and it's looking crepey. It's just looking really crusty and crepey, and I'm just not jiving with this. Okay, so overall, I honestly, I really wanted to like this foundation. I was so happy that she came out with something like this because I've never really gravitated towards any of her other foundations, like the full coverage one, and I just didn't like it. But this one, I was so hopeful for it and I really wanted to like it. But I just feel that there are other products in the market out there that'll give you that medium coverage, dewy sort of finish, more natural, radiant, all of that good stuff without the crepiness and the dryness and with a much lower price tag. If I can recommend another foundation for you that will do the exact same thing, but at a much cheaper cost, and I do mean by much, much cheaper, I will say that the Milani Glow, which literally looks like the Charlotte Tilbury, is actually much better. This foundation is stunning. It's actually a skin tint. It's a hydrating skin tint, and it has coconut water in it and squalene. So it just does that same thing, but without the dryness, without the crustiness. And when it wears off throughout the day, this will also wear out gradually. It doesn't leave the skin feeling dehydrated and quenching for more, like, hydration. So I just feel that this is so much more better at a drugstore pricing. And that's why I was disappointed, because for the price point of this foundation, which is 55 Canadian dollars, I was expecting a lot more. So I honestly don't know what else to say to you guys. I'm actually quite upset that I don't like this foundation as much as I should. So yeah, that's it, guys. That is the end of this review. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you're still here until the end, you guys are troopers. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but thank you so much for being here and supporting my channel. I'm, again, so close to 1,000 subscribers. Just please subscribe and help me out. That would help. And I'm going to go and wash this off my face and get to bed. Have a great night, and I'll see you in my next video. I can't even talk. Okay, bye.